So this is my final one of today. Looking at gold here, we took a short on gold recently, and yeah, we're gonna be diving into it. So you can see we were trending up aggressively in price discovery, and then we finally got an aggressive pullback, which is nice because after these aggressive moves, we can expect a range creation, and we trade the ranges. So it can always be risky, sketchy trading in all-time high regions because you can always see all these distributions that price just ends up grinding higher and popping up, leaving liquidity behind. So it's not the ideal trading environment when you're located at all-time highs, but here we can see that we had a trade on gold that we took. Let's see. So from this low up, we were trending up. You can see trending up here until we then broke that structure bearish. And that was your first signs of range creation, where you get the temporary breaker structure and then you come back up and sweep the high. Also on that breaker structure, we left some liquidity coming down, which gives reason. It's not the most aggressive break. You can see you wicked it at first and then really broke it, which just shows that you're probably going to form a range here after the aggressive moves and then the weak breaker structure. Then you're likely going to rotate back up, take out that high again, and upon taking that high out again, we left lots of liquidity, and within this range here, you can see we're in this overall range. We swept the high and we create our own range kind of near that range high. So just going to be looking at this as your range high of your higher time frame range, and then locally you can see how we formed a range, clear range right here. So this is in a semi-pro environment because we are trending up, leaving lots of liquidity below. It's a really nice semi-pro environment because you're trending up, leaving lots of liquidity below. You get some sort of distributive, just exhaustion, honestly, clear exhaustion locally right here. Some distributive price behavior that acts as exhaustion to your range starting point of this distribution range that sweeps a swing point. So you're sweeping a swing point, distributing into that. So that's super nice. After you're getting exhaustion into a swing point. Let me make that clear. You're getting exhaustion into a swing point. You're expecting a range creation. You're getting exhaustion, sweeping a swing point with a distribution. So yeah, super nice environment for a short. And this was the break that I entered on. So price came up here, swept the extreme liquidity there. Kind of like mitigated this POI that was already mitigated, just like that. Swept the extreme liquidity, got this bearish break. This could also be viewed as extreme liquidity, but either ways. And you can see prior to sweeping that, we had this compression here where you're building at 1, 2, 3, 4 lows, and then at the same time you're building up all these highs, 1, 2, 3, 4 highs, and then you get the pop out. So when you get that compression with the pop out, you can view this as fake demand. So we had this fake demand zone, and we kind of got a couple demand zones, which made it a bit sketchier, but we had this fake demand zone, and then we had this demand zone here that was just, took place during that New York session, and upon that aggressive breaker structure, we created some supply. So when price came back up and mitigated that supply after, disrespecting this trap zone, I entered right here. Targeting this range low for a 5.29. as you can see, price came a bit deeper, and then during after hours spiked up and stopped me out. So that was quite unfortunate. Don't even think I was monitoring price action for that. Just showed up back to the chart and saw that. So that was quite unfortunate. Just got spiked out. There was no reason to come higher. But yeah. And then there was actually a re-entry on this. Let's see if I can catch it right here. You created a nice supply zone. And then there's a redistribution here. But yeah, you had this range creation. Range creation. Swept all the liquidity to the low before coming up for that third tap. So that's not the nicest, but you can still just kind of look at it as a stream supply mitigation, and you can see the clear distributive formation of price there. And even the fact that you swept extreme liquidity prior to getting that move up, the move up itself consisted majority of liquidity, apart from this order block here. But if there was a re-entry, that was it. And you can see price aggressively complete the technical target from there. So yeah, unfortunately getting stopped out there, but only so much you can do. Could have also, another potential re-entry could have just been to enter there, simply enter there, stop loss at the high, target the low. Yeah, 4RR. That would honestly be the safest play. Just boom, seeing the slow move up, or even here, seeing the slow move up, entering there, and then, when you see price coming down, you can just trail your stop loss, or you can refine the entry to there, which ends up being a super high RR entry like this. So yeah, that is the analysis on gold. Just want to draw this volume profile real quick to see what we were working with. Just pretty concentrated volume there. Overall, clean. After I was stopping me out, pre-London putting in that reconfirmation. I was asleep for all of this price action. But yeah, that is the video. Appreciate you for watching.